Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey, welcome everybody. This is Wileen Benson. This is our Daily Gratitude Call. Thank you for joining our call today. Just want to give a quick reminder for everyone who joins here live. We will not be here next week, all next week, 7 o'clock a.m. I will not be here live, but we are going to still be doing a post every day. So there will still be a podcast posted every day. You can find those in the Breakthrough with Gratitude group. You can go to your favorite podcast platform. They're also posted on YouTube and also in my website, in my blog, wileenbenson.com/blog. And you can even sign up to receive the gratitude call every day in your email. It's, I think it just says sign up for newsletter or something like that on the right-hand side in that blog page. And so if you don't want to miss anything ever, if you're, have a hard time finding it or whatever, that's a great way to have it just come directly to your email address. We will have some really cool stuff next week, but it won't be live. So I encourage you to join us, continue joining us every day. And since it's going to be slightly different than our gratitude call format, I really, really want to encourage you throughout the weekend and all next week to do your own daily GPS and your own daily gratitude practice to keep that high vibration going in your life. Throughout next week, I'll be in Sedona with Laura Helmling, who is on our gratitude call quite often, and some of our regular participants, those who have been part of our Architecture of Life mentoring program. We're doing a quantum leap retreat there in Sedona, and super excited for what we get to accomplish there. For today, our focus is gratitude for safe and helpful people. Safe and helpful people. I'm going to set the timer for 90 seconds. We're going to do a private silent meditation on gratitude for safe and helpful people, and then we'll share. So 90-second private silent meditation, gratitude for safe and helpful people. Just write down whatever you're inspired. Begin. All right. I'm going to just finish this thought here. Whatever the subject is, it's always inspired. And I didn't realize that these are two different types of people. Safe, there's safe people and there's helpful people that are safe. I'm grateful that I have someone in my life who is safe and helpful, like equally safe and equally helpful. Laura is she often says that you always need somebody behind you that you can pull up. You need somebody with you that is like a peer that you can kind of bounce ideas off of. And you need somebody that you can reach up to that's farther ahead than you are. And I found that to be true, regardless of what stage I'm in, even if I'm just beginning and not even understanding, fully the new level that I'm at. There's always somebody behind me that I can pull up, and there's always somebody with me that I can kind of bounce ideas off of. And in times like those, it's so important to have somebody ahead of you that you can reach up to and grab a hold of and pull up, pull you up. And those people, all three of those need to be safe and they need to be helpful. Well, the ones that you pull up, a lot of times they're not, I don't know, I would say that they're helpful too, because there's this energy exchange that's happening, a relationship exchange that's beneficial to both. I have had people encourage me based on limited knowledge that isn't really helpful. And those types of people, I love them and they're safe, to go to for other things, but there's some things that they're just not helpful. And then I've also had people who encourage me, who are trying to be helpful. They think they're trying to be helpful, but they're not really safe because they have an ulterior motive. Something, if they're encouraging me to do something that's going to benefit them, then a lot of times there's an ulterior motive and it's not 100% safe there. So I'm really grateful for safe and, so emphasis on the and helpful people. Robert and then Crystal.
Okay, so what you said at the very beginning was exactly what I was thinking. Those are two different type of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing a video not long ago showing or talking about the most vicious animals on the planet. And they dropped it from 50 to 1. And I shouldn't have been surprised when they got to number 1, that was people.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, yes, there are scriptures. I think the scriptures are pretty clear how vicious human beings can be. And when I was extremely frustrated some months back, one of my mentors picked that up, but never said anything. And when I realized how empty I was feeling and how vulnerable I was at the moment, she said, you've got to be able to, if you're going to be a mentor, you have got to be able to put yourself in a safe place, to where people can go to you as a place of safety.
Mm-hmm.
And that means you've got to be very conscientious of your emotions when you feel like you're falling apart.
Beautiful. Thank you. I received some new understanding about that in our Architecture of Life mentoring call last Tuesday. One of our participants was saying that he was just, feeling really overwhelmed and had some stuff going on in his personal life, that was kind of making it hard for him to continue forward in his business. And we talked about it, and he had a specific way that he served people. So, I encouraged him to actually be his best client. And I think that is some really good advice to know how to get yourself to a safe place so that you can help others get to a safe place. Because, kind of back to, you always need to have somebody that you're pulling up, somebody that is a peer, and then somebody that you're reaching up to. And if we're going to continue serving, we have to be able to continue keeping ourselves in that safe place.
I think along with that, it's important to recognize that if you have a hatred or a discontent with somebody, how you really have to look at yourself as to what is it in you, because that's the only place that it can grow from, is a hatred towards somebody is a hatred in you, a frustration in you is a frustration in them. And that's got to be cleared out.
Awesome. Yes, recognizing it within yourself. And that really is a position of power where you can make that change within yourself, and regardless of what the other person is doing, get yourself into that place. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Crystal.
I wanted to talk about, I'm grateful for safe and helpful people. I had an experience I want to share this week. We were in St. George, and there's a slot canyon by the Dixie sign up in the cliffs. And I had done it as a child, and it wasn't traumatic. And so I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to have to prove my womanhood. I was like, I'm fine. But then my 9-year-old son's like, Mom, you gotta do this. It's awesome. And he's like, you only have to go halfway. And I was like, oh, how do I show this kid I love him? And this is not video games, so fine, So I go, and anyway, it was very steep, and I didn't realize how skinny it was. And I was starting to get a little panicky because it was so steep that I was barely able to lift my leg up the rocks, and it was so tight I couldn't even flip directions. And I was getting a little panicky, but luckily there was the sky above, and so it wasn't like I was in a total cave, but there came a point where it was like I couldn't get my foot to push myself forward, and this little kid came behind me, and his name was Gunner. I didn't even know him. And I was like, could you please hold your hand there so I can push as hard as I can? And I was able to push against his hand and go forward. And then, my little boy was telling me, you can do it. But I was starting to have to pray. I mean, I quoted, I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth you, Philippians 4:13. And then at the end, I was having a hard time getting out, and my brother-in-law pulled me out. And anyway, as I've been going through a trial, my mom said, Crystal, look for the compensatory blessings that God is going to send you. And like this gratitude call, you, Eileen, are one of the compensatory blessings that have been helping me process and heal and, remember who I really am. And I'm very grateful for safe and helpful people and compensatory blessings and Christ, helping me.
Thank you. Well, you just really anchored in those thoughts that I was sharing earlier about someone to lift you up. In fact, you had two people lifting you up. You had Gunnar from behind, and you had your brother-in-law from above that was helping you to move forward. And also someone to tell you, you can do it, that peer, that isn't really capable of pulling you up or pushing you up, and you're not really helping them, but they can be a peer and just like be your cheerleaders. They can be safe and helpful in their encouragement. It's so powerful. Thank you. Thank you. What a great story. Mary. And thank you also for your affirmation of me and the gratitude call. I received that. Thank you. Mary.
Well, okay. I am just grateful that within my family, there are safe and helpful people. I'm glad to be a safe and helpful person to kids who feel safe to express themselves no matter how harsh it is. And that I can always be the calm in their storm. There's a lot to being a safe harbor for full self-expression of your loved ones. And I feel like sometimes there's misunderstandings and there's limiting beliefs within them that causes the reaction
Mhm.
and the misunderstanding or the whatever it is. So being that safe and helpful person is sometimes, well, like I used to tell my kids when they were growing up to, if somebody's yelling at you or somebody's, just, whatever at you, coming at you with words, just let those words go through the air. Just look at them, don't let them like penetrate into you. Just have a little shield and just watch them go through the air. So
Mhm.
I think it's, but be there, could be there, but just don't let them come into your space. Anyway, I feel like this is a good topic for today because we had an experience yesterday, and there were reactions all around, but it was just, sometimes there's timing is off. Somebody reacts, but they must feel safe to do that, because normally if you're talking with someone else, you probably I know that this person would not just, they would hold back, and
Mhm.
and that's a good thing, because you can't always just spew and vomit on people with your anger and or discouragement or disappointment or whatever it is you're experiencing. And so having safe and helpful people, oh, I'm glad to be one, but that it's not always the best timing or comfortable, but and then you don't have time to actually make it right or have that communication because the other person's just gone. But guess what? I was still that safe harbor, or
Mhm.
that safe and helpful person. On the other hand, having safe and helpful people, you know, is so vital. If you
Mhm.
don't have that, you've got what do you have? You've got the Savior for sure, and that
Mhm.
he has been a safe and helpful person for me throughout my life. That's the one constant that I've had in my life, and I think that I'd like to gift that to other family members and
Yeah.
help them see that's a safe and helpful person to go to.
Beautiful. Um, when you are a safe and helpful person, then you are acting as Christ on earth, because ultimately, He and our Heavenly Father are that wonderful place that we can always go. But if it's the only place that we can go, that's kind of a lonely life. If
Mhm.
there's nobody in our worlds where we feel like we can go, where there's a safe and helpful person that we can come to. It's wonderful to be able to pray and to get inspiration. Sitting in my daily GPS every day is the most important part of my day. It helps me to continue forward in my business and doing well in my personal life and everything. But there is really value in being able to share those things, and this gratitude call is a place that is safe and helpful. And I love what you're saying about this safe to fully express. So if you are a safe and helpful person, it's like you open the door for full expression in vulnerability from other people, if you're a safe and helpful person. And so therefore you create a space where there can be safety and vulnerability. And that's what really creates a deep connection with people, is when there can be that safe space where there can be full expression. That's the only way that we can really fully become the best that we can be, is when we have a safe place that we can fully express on earth, not just with God in our daily GPS, but to be able to do that with other people. We're not meant to just receive our inspiration and be like, oh, this is so awesome. We need to be able to have a place that we can share it, and also that we can learn and grow. So thank you. So
You're welcome.
you being a safe and helpful person is what opens the door for that.
Yes, I'd like to add something.
Mm-hmm.
because I realized that for me, because of my life growing up and my dad, whom I love and who ended up being a really great, awesome person, but when he would say, "You can trust me," and then turn on me, it's like I just got a glimpse of that. I had forgotten about that, but that trust, like, you come on, you can tell me, you can trust me, and then I would get beat. So it's like, oh, you can trust me. But
Mm-hmm.
so it's been really hard for me, and to, like, I love groups.
Mm-hmm.
But the one-on-one, it's like, okay, you say I can trust you, but there's going to be, but can I really? So that's been a really something that I've been able to overcome, but it does peek its head a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm super grateful to have inched my way to trusting certain people, and just really, trust and know that I can go to them and have their mentoring and in my life. And Wileen, that is, you are one of those. So I'm really grateful that um, I'm still opening up and to and allowing trust and allowing people into my life.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary. I really appreciate, especially from someone who has had trouble trusting in the past and has that evidence. I just really treasure and cherish trust from others. Thank you. Tyree.
Going along with that, I read, part of a book called Multipliers by Liz Wiseman. And she talks about how there are multipliers and diminishers, and the multipliers are people that have a growth mindset, and they see that intelligence and abilities and gifts are not fixed, that they are developed, and they magnify people because they see their gifts and they give them room to make mistakes and to grow and everything. Where diminishers, they see themselves as the authority and the genius, and they see intelligence as a limited resource. And they feel like if they don't do it, then it's not going to be done right. And so I think that for most people, and definitely for me, I have the qualities of both. And so it's like, it's just, what do I focus on and what do I feed? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like all of us, it's like that yin and yang that I think Robert was the one who pointed out that symbol a while back. And like each one of us, there's the white side, there's a black dot in there, and there's the black side, and there's a white dot in there. So the beauty of that symbol is that we all have both capabilities within us. And it's what we focus on. I love that. And I wrote a statement based on what you said: safe and helpful people magnify others. And I think that's a true statement. Thank you. Let's go ahead and shift over into our permission process. Go ahead and take a deep breath. And just invite you to be open to whatever it is that you get to learn today. And we're going to be checking in with the most safe and helpful person on the planet and on the universe, and that is God. And also bringing Christ into the mix if that serves you today. Go ahead and take one more deep breath. And any other safe and helpful people that you can invite into sort of like a board of directors meeting. Go ahead and bring any of those safe and helpful people that are coming to you into this meditation today. And go ahead and create whatever setting or surrounding feels right, whether it's a natural setting or sitting around a board table, like a conference room table, or if it's standing in an empty room where anything is possible, anything can be created, whatever it is, just go ahead and build that environment where full expression is capable and it is safe to fully express. And you are a safe person that when others fully express, you receive it. And maybe it doesn't necessarily apply to you if something is said, and that's okay, but you can receive it. And mull it over, take the feedback, and just whatever feels right for you to accept in that moment and take that and move forward, then you can do that. So I'm going to take one more deep breath, and the meeting is open. The floor is open. And just open the way for this mastermind discussion to happen among all of these people that are safe and helpful. And the only purpose is to magnify. And what new information are you gathering? And also maybe listening if there are some limiting beliefs that are coming up. If in this safe place where anything is possible and everybody there is being helpful in the true sense of the word, not being helpful like I'm helping, telling you what to do, but actually being helpful in the true sense of the word, that everything that is shared is helpful. But there's one thing that's really standing out that would be most important for you to grab onto today, and just allow that to float up to the top. And that is your inspired shortcut for today. And all of these other helpful suggestions and discussion that's happening with your board of safe and helpful people is possibly important, possibly for a different time, possibly a distraction. So just whatever is shared that is not important right now in this moment, just let those go and just allow the one most important thing to float to the top, and that is your inspired shortcut. And then now it's an opportunity for us to look at any limiting beliefs that might have come up during that discussion, any thing that was triggered within you. And whatever that limiting belief is, just write that down and then examine the cost of it. Will you be able to continue forward with this inspired shortcut and be in this capacity of magnifying others, be a safe and helpful person who is magnifying others if you hold on to that limiting belief? And if that limiting belief is not serving you, you can give yourself permission to choose a new belief. And if you're ready to give yourself permission to choose a new belief, say yes.
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 Awesome. Thank you. So if you're ready to choose some new beliefs, go ahead and do that. 2 or 3 new beliefs that will replace that old limiting belief and will set you on the path of being this safe and helpful person, magnifying others, and also feeling safe and feeling helpful because of what you've learned today with your that mastermind that you were just in with these safe and helpful people. Safe to fully express, safe to be vulnerable, safe to be calm in the storm, safe with no judgment. And if there is any judgment, that because you're in a safe and helpful place, that judgment can be safe and helpful. You can see those coming through the air, like Mary said, and you can see those words as safe and helpful. And if they're not meant from a space of safe and helpful, then they don't belong to you, because you are safe and helpful. You are in a space of safe and helpful. So if words are not safe and helpful, they don't enter your space, because they're a totally different vibrational energy. They just dissipate when they hit your field. Take one more deep breath. And in a moment, I'm going to invite you to come back to the present, and we'll have a few minutes that we can share. I also want to offer my services if there's, as a safe and helpful person, if there's anything that you're feeling like you need some extra support with, to go to askwylene.com and schedule a 15-minute call with me. We'll take you to my calendar and you can have a free mentoring session for 15 minutes. askwylene.com. All right, go ahead and come back to the present and bring your information with you. And is there someone that would like to share something about their experience today? Tyree, and then Mary.
My limiting belief, I had two: that I can't be me, and that I'm not helpful anymore. And because that was part of who I identified myself as growing up, was that I was helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of my new beliefs are that I am safe and helpful, representing Christ, and I am a magnifier. And I guess for a few years, I felt like if I'm not like in a happy and a high vibration, that I need to keep to myself. And because I'm not in a place that I can help someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that is not an effective thing to think. I don't know yet what to correct that with, but I do know that that's part of my shortcut, is to work through that.
Beautiful. The thought came to me, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. So if you're not in a space to be helpful, just be quiet, don't contribute. But that's so wrong, because that's such wrong thinking, because the person who does have, is a safe and helpful person, how they're going to give you how are they going to fully express their genius if there's nobody that's saying anything, if nobody says that they need help? And so, yeah, it's definitely important to open up and to share. And in anything, whether it's you need some extra support in health, if you need some extra support emotionally, if you need support physically, whatever, it's so helpful. I'm going to say it's helpful if you will open up, if you will connect with people, and just know that there's charity for all. And sometimes we're on the receiving end, and sometimes we're on the giving end. And that charity is what brings people together. So yeah, I love what you're saying, Tyree, and maybe that will help you get some new beliefs.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Mary, and then Aubrey.
Well, mine's just really short and quick. My group was my Toastmasters group, but they're such a safe place to be, and they're so helpful, truly helpful. They're just in every sense of the word. And the thing that came to me was relax, just relax and be safe. Relax that you are safe, and just have fun. But my limiting belief was, if I let my guard down, I'll get hurt. And so my new beliefs are: I am safe being me. I am a safe place, and I am fully self-expressed.
Beautiful. I feel it like that, being self-expressed and allowing yourself to fully express, and being a safe place for others to fully express. I think that is really a key to knowing if the the space is safe and helpful. If people can fully express and feel that feeling of godly love and charity. I think that's a really big part of it. Thank
Mhm.
you. And I love, I am a safe place, or is that what you said? I am a
Mhm,
safe
yes.
place. I
Yeah.
am a safe place. And I love that, relax and be safe. That instruction of relax and be safe. Just relax. You are safe.
Right.
I just love that feeling.
Yeah, me too. Thanks.
Thank you. Aubrey.
Well, both Tyree's and Mary's go into mine exactly. So mine was my inspired shortcut that I got was to bring healing to others. And my limiting belief was, but I'm too sick from my COVID and I'm sad about my kids being removed. And then I changed that limiting belief to I am healed through Christ.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Aubrey. And I didn't realize that you had COVID. Our prayers go out to you. Thank you.
Well, it's over. I had it in November, but I still
good.
have symptoms so badly that it just takes it out of me, you know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm healed through Christ. That's a really good new belief for you today then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys. I know we could continue sharing because there's probably lots of people that could share, but I encourage you to go to our Breakthrough with Gratitude group and continue your shares there. We would love to, that's a safe and helpful place for you as well. Thank you again for being here. Again, we will not be here live Monday through Friday next week, but do check out the podcast in all those places that I mentioned at the beginning of the call and see what I've got for you. You will be super excited. The calls will be really short, but very powerful. And so I encourage you to check those out. And then keep doing your daily GPS, your gratitude practice throughout the week. And then we will be back together the following week. I think it's like March 28th or something like that, 29th. I don't know, one of those. We'll be back together. So thank you and have an awesome day. Love you guys. Thank you.
Thanks. Love you too.
Thank you. Love you.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. I'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WileenBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.